everyone! Welcome back to our English class. Today, we are going to talk about infinitives. Are you ready to listen? Then, let's begin. Let's define infinitives. These are verbs that act as other parts of speech. An infinitive is the to form of the verb. The infinitive of run is to run. The infinitive of scream is to scream. And the infinitive of eat is to eat. Therefore, we can use the formula to plus verb in forming our infinitives. Infinitive can function as subject, a direct object, a predicate nominative, an appositive, or an object of a preposition. Here are some examples. To care is to encourage someone. To care here operates as a noun and therefore functions as a subject of the sentence. I like to eat. To eat functions as a direct object. A direct object answers the question what of the verb. A fun thing is to eat. To eat is a predicate nominative. The infinitive acts as a predicate nominative that follows an auxiliary verb and identifies something that is fun in the sentence. My hope to travel never happened. It functions as an appositive. An appositive is a renaming or amplification of a word that immediately precedes it. Lastly, I want nothing but to save. To save acts as an object of preposition. A small number of prepositions, most often about, but, except, for, and then, can have infinitive phrases as their objects. Let's proceed to infinitive phrase. Infinitive phrase is a group of words that include an infinitive and any other words to complete its meaning. For example, to fly a plane was her goal. To fly is the infinitive, to plus verb. To fly a plane is the infinitive phrase. We have different types of infinitive phrases. They are infinitive phrase as a noun, infinitive phrase as an adjective, and infinitive phrase as an adverb. Let's begin with infinitive phrase as a noun. When an infinitive phrase functions as a noun, it answers the question what. The infinitive phrase will also be the subject, it does the verb or it is an object, and it receives the action of the verb. Here are some examples. I don't want to study for my test. To study for my test as an infinitive phrase that functions as a noun, answer the question, what don't you want? He needs to ace the exam. What does he need? The infinitive phrase to ace the exam functions as the object of the sentence. To get good grades is my goal. What is a goal? The infinitive phrase as a noun, to get good grades, is the subject of the sentence. His job was to tutor me in math. The infinitive phrase as a noun, to tutor me in math, functions as an object and it answers the question, what was his job? Then we have infinitive phrase as an adjective. When an infinitive phrase acts as an adjective in a sentence, it describes a noun or a pronoun, and it describes a subject or an object. Here are some examples. I want a tutor to help me study. To help me study as an infinitive phrase functions as an adjective, describes the tutor. I need a magazine to read on the train. It describes the magazine. There is a basket to put your exam in. To put your exam in as an infinitive phrase functioning as an adjective describes the basket. Lastly, I wish I had a friend to study with me. To study with me as an infinitive phrase functioning as an adjective describes the friend. Lastly, we have infinitive phrase as an adverb. When an infinitive phrase works like an adverb, it modifies the verb in a sentence. Adverbs answer questions where, when, why, how, and for what reason or purpose. As an adverb, the infinitive will answer the same questions. Here are some examples. I went home to study for math. It answers the question, why did you go home? He sat down to take the exam. It answers the question, for what reason did he sit down? To get into college, you need good grades. It answers the question, why do you need good grades? Lastly, to ace the exam, I studied for hours. It answers the question, for what purpose did you study? Now we're done with our lesson. Let's try this activity. I know you can do this. Get a piece of paper and let's answer. Identify the function of the infinitives in each sentence. Are you ready? Then let's begin. Number 1. To dance beneath the stars with her is Jared's only goal. What do you think is the function of the infinitive to dance? Correct. The answer here is subject. George likes to meditate after the stressful day. What do you think is the answer here? Correct. It functions as a direct object. Number 3. His great ambition was to bring dinosaurs back to life. What do you think is the answer here? Exactly, as a predicate nominative. Number 4. Mario's goal in life to become an occupational therapist is within his grasp at last. The answer here is very good, as an appositive. And lastly, that problem is too difficult for you to solve. The correct answer here is exactly, object of a preposition. Congratulations for completing our lesson. Thank you very much for watching and for listening. I will see you again. This is your Maestra Mela, always at your service.